Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to Dawn Spiritual Guidance. It's your girl Dawn, and we got a message for you. Thank you all for your love and support here. It is truly appreciated. Please remember to take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I do not choose the storyline or the cards that come out. The Holy Spirit and my spiritual team does, okay? This is a timeless energy check-in. All right, regardless of when you're coming across this video, weeks, years, months later is when the Holy Spirit feels like you are in a season to hear this message, okay? Or to be a messenger to someone else in his name, okay? So please remember to take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Again, this is a collective message. All right, Holy Spirit, what do they need to see, know, and hear? What does the collective need to see, know, and hear? All right, we have, there's no such thing as a mistake. Everything happens in divine order. I am being guided to learn and grow. Okay, so from a 5D and above perspective, you know, this earth school, we're here to learn, right? And this is our vessel, right? That we're using as a form of a school supply to be here, to navigate this earthly realm, all right? Just like in the 3D realm here, we buy paper, pencils, textbooks, you know, whatever we need to get for our classes, right? For 3D school. Well, for 5D and above school, our school supplies is our vessels, right? In a lot of cases, well, it needs to be in a lot of cases, our higher consciousness, so we can balance that out, you know, and so on and so forth, being trained for our ordained purpose, so we can make a difference in the world when it comes to transformation and evolution purposes. So we are supposed to make mistakes here because, you know, it's one of the best teachers. Also, at the same time, we also have to apply what we've learned as a form of wisdom, right? So we're not constantly making the same quote unquote mistakes again. When mistakes are, again, teachers. It's a form of teaching, just like soulmates. Everybody isn't a soulmate to you. However, a lot of people can be a soulmate because you signed a soul contract before you came here and went through a veil of forgetfulness, right? You signed some soul contracts. Hey, okay, I'm gonna come on your path at this time, and I do this because time is an illusion when we're talking about 5D and above matters. However, at this point in your life, I'm gonna come across you, and then I got to teach you this lesson, and then in turn you're teaching them this whatever lesson that is, right? And that could be a co-worker, a family, friend, romantic, a combination of all, okay? And so it's up to you. It's very important up to you to ask yourself, what was I supposed to learn from this? What did this teach me? You know, and I know that can be easier said than done, especially when you're dealing with a circumstance that's, you know, eating at the matters of the heart, right? So that's why I'm a strong advocate for therapy, life coaching, mentoring, you know, so you can work with some sort of healer. You don't have to be alone, okay? That was for somebody. So we have, I honor my self-worth by asking for what I want. Okay, so ask for what you want. Don't settle if you don't have to, okay? Don't accept anything that you do not deserve. Do not compromise your must-haves, because then it's going to feel like you are settling, okay? So you want to compromise, but you don't want to compromise your must-haves. So some of you guys may want to journal that for some shadow work. What are my 3 to 5 must-haves when it comes to having a healthy friendship, a healthy romantic connection, or a healthy family dynamic, right? And what does that look like balancing out, you know, that with my family or friends in addition to myself and my self-worth? What is it that I deserve, and how can I cultivate that in every area of my life? All right. The difficult relationships in my life are the perfect mirror for me to look more closely at my own behavior, right? So from a 5D and above perspective, again, with those soul contracts, right? Soulmates, whether they are karmic, the good or bad kind, or just a regular plain soulmate. So we have to remember that when they come on our path, majority of the time, they are reflecting something to us that we need to heal. So anybody that's triggering you real bad is is reflecting back to you either something that you are doing that's in a shadow side, or it's helping you. Because also too, if you are a chosen one, sometimes you may not be dealing with a certain thing, but your family member might be. Because remember, a chosen one is supposed to uplift all of the negative behaviors, patterns, and everything that does not serve the bloodline in its entirety, seen and unseen. Okay? So, you may not be dealing with something, for example, directly, whether that's a behavior, a pattern, a mindset, what somebody in your immediate family might be, or in your bloodline period, and you need to uproot it. So that when you have your kids, you're not teaching them that negative pattern or that negative mindset, or, you're getting it out of your bloodline so that they're no longer plagued by it, so to say. Okay. So for some of you guys, these people are in your life for a reason. And I know it could be a pain in the ass, depending upon what you're dealing with here. What I'm hearing is also, too, it's for a sole purpose. All right. We have, I breathe. That does not condone any form of mistreatment or abuse. Okay. This is giving you a higher consciousness perspective. Okay, if you will. I breathe calmly and easily. I am safe in this moment. Okay, so remember your self-worth. You deserve a peaceful environment. You deserve healthy connections that genuinely have your best interests at heart. Not perfect connections, genuine connections. Connections that are going to nourish you, fuel you, motivate you, right? But at the same time, nobody's perfect, right? So somebody may have a trait that's irritating to you, but also at the same time, it's not toxic and it's not abusive. So this is what I say. You do have to navigate your top 3 to 5 must-haves when it comes to friendships, right? So for example, you can't have a connection without trust. So if you have somebody around that you can't trust, then you're going to feel like you're settling. Then you're going to start feeling irritated. Then you're going to start feeling hurt. And that's because you are not honoring your boundary of not having people around that you can't trust, unless you're dealing with a circumstance that's out of your control. You're living with the person, or, you're going to school with the person and you have to do an assignment with them because the teacher put you together, or you're working with them and you got to do something because you're working, or your boss put you on a group project together, a situation or circumstance that's out of your control. That's one thing. It's out of your control. Well, when you're dealing with something that is in your control, you want to take advantage of that in a way that's healthy and positive for you. Okay. So creating that environment that is safe for you. So write down, what does safety and security look like for me? And then start creating it. What does having people around that provide safety and security for me? And write that down and then create it. Some shadow work activities here, if you will. Okay, you have to create this. Okay, what does healthy coping skills look like for me? Write it down. And then start implementing it when you get angry or before, right? Taking preventative measures. When you start feeling those warning signs, right? And you can start taking heed instead of allowing yourself to get super high in your emotions where it's hard for you to calm down. Now, of course, if you're dealing with a surprising circumstance or situation, yes, that'll 0 to 100 possibly will happen. But then it's up to you to take advantage and say, okay, let me calm myself down before I make a decision, a lifetime decision based off of a temporary emotion, because the idea is that you're not going to be angry forever, right? And the last thing you want to do is to make a decision you can't get out of. Okay, I know. So that was for somebody. If you feel like somebody is abusive, they don't need to be in your space. If you feel like somebody is toxic, they have not healed, okay, they don't need to be in your space. those are not the people that will provide a safety and security environment or just around for you, okay? Hey, some of you guys may have gotten cut off because somebody felt like you weren't adding, peace, love, and harmony to their dynamic here. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. A person that's genuinely on a healing journey does not want to be around somebody that is not actively healing themselves. Okay? Like if somebody is on a healing journey and they're purging out toxicities, they don't want to be around somebody that's still doing the same toxic shit that they're purging out. That's going to undo the healing work that they're doing. Okay? Potentially here. So for some of you guys, you may have to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, what do I need to purge or what else? Okay? Some of you guys may have a few more snakes in your grass here, is what I'm hearing. That maybe you didn't know, or there could be some information that you don't know that needs to come out, or you may need to tell somebody some information here. Flip the energies as you see fit. Put yourself on the side of the story as you see fit, okay? And if you want to book a personal reading, you can feel free to do so via the website link that's linked in the description box, DonJuanSpiritualGuidance.com. It's the only way at this time to book a personal reading with us, okay? And also feel free to join us on Facebook. They get additional messages that I sometimes do not cross-share with YouTube, okay? So if you want more content, feel free to join us on Facebook. That link is in the description box as well. All right, Holy Spirit, what do we have? What do they need to know, see, and hear? What's the story? What happened? Or what's happening? Or what's going to happen? Okay. So a lot of you guys had to be strong. For some of you guys, if you are at the beginning of this, you're being asked to be strong, okay? Somebody could have, so you could have been dealing with somebody, whether this is a friendship, a romantic, at your job, or, if you're an entrepreneur, this could have been a partner of your business partner, or a family member, or a friend. Take it how it resonates, leave it if it's not. They could have been very prideful. They could have looked down on people, or this was you. Because it's like somebody, like if they made you a promise, they broke it. If they made a commitment, right? For example, entrepreneurship. If they were your business partner, they flopped out, right? Or if this was a coworker of yours that was supposed to work on a project, they didn't do their part, or whatever the case may be. Or if this is a family member, they were supposed to show you love and kindness and, not be perfect, because nobody's perfect, right? We are all flawed in one way or another. But there's a difference between flaws and abuse. You can have flaws and not be abusive. Okay? Everybody comes with flaws, but not everybody comes with abuse. So this is somebody that didn't have a moral code of compass. Because this is also, the higher orphan is also about morals, beliefs, values. Okay, this is somebody that grew up in a household that was extremely abusive, I'm hearing, and they never healed from it. So it's like, whether this is a manager, a friend, or whatever the case may be. So for example, this could be a manager. They got extremely abused, right? They were never paid attention to. They never got real love. They got toxic love. Right? They felt like God may have abandoned them. Okay? And they have got some sort of physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, whatever the case may be. And let's say they never healed that. So now they're in this manager position, and because they didn't heal these things, they're taking their unhealed wounds out on the employees, right? So for going back to that example, they were never heard or seen. This is how they felt. They felt like they were never heard or seen or valued or appreciated. So now that they're in this managerial position, now they feel heard. Now they feel respected, right? Now they feel like they have a piece of power. But they're not using the power. They're not using their chair, their, position in a way that helps people in a positive, healthy way. They're using it to abuse. It's like they're abusing their power. Okay? They're abusing it to work out for their best interest here. Now, apply that concept to any other area. Romantic, family, okay, whatever the case may be. Somebody could have grew up in a family, and they weren't heard or seen. And so now that when they started their own family, they're abusive to their family because they want to be heard and seen and respected. No, that's abuse. That's not how you get it. Look, see? And for somebody else, it's like they flopped out on you romantically, business-wise, friendship-wise, family-wise, whatever the case may be, right? Some sort of abandonment here because they thought something else or somewhere else was going to be more successful, or this is what you thought. This is what you did. Flip the energies as you see fit. Put yourself on the side of the story as you see fit. Yeah, somebody snuck off. 7 of Swords. And it caused all this conflict. And they did this, I'm hearing, because they were jealous, spiteful, and envious of you. Or you were jealous, spiteful, and envious of somebody. It's like somebody was trying to put you in competition here. Or this is what you were trying to do. Yeah, and it's like, I don't know why people choose to do this. And I don't know why people choose to do this to people who are spiritual. I mean, do they not think that your ancestors is not going to tell you? Do they not think that the Holy Spirit is not going to tell you, or your angels not going to tell you, hey, this is what this person is doing, or this is what somebody is doing, if they don't give you specifics, right? Listen, it's like somebody didn't like what God had in store for you, or like, I'm hearing like your essence. Somebody didn't like your drive. 8 of Wands. Somebody didn't like how positive you were. How like colorful you are. Okay. Like, and somebody don't know your life. You could have been abused and things of that nature. And let me tell you, because somebody needs to hear this. I don't care if you were physically, verbally, emotionally, sexually, any form of abuse, you still have your childlike essence. They can't listen, if you are a believer in God, the Father, creator of heaven and earth, and you ain't being fake about it, and you went through some abuse like that, I don't care. God says you still have your childlike essence. Nobody can take away from you what God gave for you. Okay? Nobody can take away what's in here. Nobody can take away your spirit. Nobody can take away your soul. That is you. Nobody can take away what God instilled within you. You still have your childlike essence. I don't care. You feel like, well, they got on top of me, and if you didn't give permission, if you did not, God said, you still have it. Okay, that was for somebody. If somebody stole it from you, you still have it. You still have it. Metaphorically. Okay, for those that know, you know. So that was for somebody, okay? You still have it, honey. All right? Hashtag God said. All right, listen, this is somebody so maybe that'll help somebody, because somebody is, they're upset because they feel like, well, somebody stole my virginity. I didn't have a chance to give it, right? Or somebody stole my inheritance. I didn't have a chance to use it, right? Or somebody stole this, that, and the third, right? So it's like, since somebody stole from me, I'm going to steal, or I'm going to do this, that, and the third to them out of anger, out of spite, out of hurt. And no, that doesn't make it right. Right? Queen of Swords in reverse. Mean, cruel, cold. Consciously making decisions to do this. Okay, so somebody could have tried to do to you what happened to them in their childhood. For some of you guys, man, this got deep. And God's like, no. Because it's like somebody doesn't feel like you deserve these things because they feel like maybe you didn't go through anything, or, you know, they don't know what you went through. So all they're seeing is the outside. But that's the thing. Looks can be deceiving. It's like you went through shit. You went through hell. But you wear it well, right? God has his hand over you. Check out that other reading. I'm telling you, God has his hand over you. All right? And somebody don't like that either because they feel like it's like somebody feel like they went through a life of suffering and God wasn't in their life. When God was in their life, they didn't know that they was on a mission. Okay, this is why it's important to learn God. This is why it's important to wake up. This is why it's important to develop a higher level of consciousness so you can find these things out. Okay? Or work with a healer, therapist, life coach, mentor, not just any, right? Spiritually inclined. Okay? Metaphysical in nature. Okay? Or you could go to a shaman, or, you know, whatever the case may be. All right? Well, it's like whoever wanted you to experience what they went through as a child or endure the trauma and stuff like that, whether this is you or whoever you're dealing with, they didn't know, like, okay, if somebody stole it from them, they still have it, right? This is why healing is so important, guys. And no, they should have never took it out on you, or no, you should have never took it out on them. Self-worth. So whatever happened to somebody as a kid or their adult life, whatever, a combination, you didn't deserve that, okay? That's for somebody, but that also doesn't mean that you go ahead and take it out on somebody else either. You have to heal that. You have to find out why God allowed. You have to go on a journey. Okay, God is here. God is everywhere. Omnipresence. Okay, God didn't leave you. God never left you. God saw it all. But some of you guys have to learn how to speak to God, how to receive messages, okay? And I wasn't always like this. I had to go on a journey. Journeys, plural. I had to grow. I had to evolve, and I'm still doing it. Okay? Like this part here. I had to learn that part to teach that. Right? Because I don't know everything. There's infinite knowledge. But somebody was a know-it-all here. With this strength card, is pride here. And somebody allowed their pride and ego to fuck up something that could have been their wish fulfillment. 9 of Cups. That actually could have worked out. Or you did. Flip the energies as you see fit. Okay, so it's like some of you guys are waiting for, you know, things to work through. And let me tell you, yep. It's like this energy kept you waiting. This energy, you know, was given to everybody else except to you. This energy was talking behind your back, or you was talking behind their back. Flip the energies as you see fit. Okay, I'm hearing spreading rumors, lies. I'm hearing stop spreading those rumors around. Stop spreading the lies. Okay. I mean, man, somebody really went out their way to try to like sabotage you. Or you went out your way to try to sabotage somebody. And this was for some people, this was a group effort. Okay. King of Swords in reverse. These were mature energies that decided to make a willing, knowingly decision to do this. Or you did. Yep. King in reverse. Yep, and King of Wands in reverse. And Nine of Pentacles in reverse. I'm telling you, these are all immature energies. This is like, so for example, this is like an energy that could be like 40 years old. With certain parts of them, because of the horrible trauma they endured, those parts never grew up to that 40 years old. So let's say in somebody's childhood, they had to like grow up fast. So they had to like, you know, at like 14, 15, get a job because their parent was, you know, maybe they was getting money, but they wouldn't put the money towards them. They were putting money towards frivolous things, right? They didn't want to have kids, or they didn't heal. So they didn't take care of their kids the way that they needed to because they didn't heal themselves, right? Generational trauma. No, it doesn't make it right. Well, people grow up in these unfortunate circumstances. So this is somebody that, you know, learned really well how to do finances, learned really well, how to build independence because they had to. So much so to where they didn't even have a childhood because they had to grow up fast, right? So they grew up fast in paying bills and finances and, being on time because they had to, go to work and get their studies done. In some cases, go to school, stuff like that, right? So they were very good at these aspects. So when they reached, adult age, it appeared like they had it together, right? Because remember, everybody doesn't look like what they've been through. But at the same time, they didn't have a chance to grow and evolve in other areas like kids are supposed to, such as emotional intelligence. That has to be taught. And monkey see, monkey do when it comes to kids are sponges. So when you see parents beating each other up, or step parents beating each other up, or cursing each other out, or you have a step parent coming into your room every night on top of you, or a sibling on top of you, or stuff like that, that's not taking no for an answer, that would drive you crazy too. In a sense, I don't like using that word, but these are heavy traumas that really impact people. And it shouldn't have took a pandemic to make mental health less stigmatized, right? It shouldn't take a crisis to make metaphysics, spirituality less stigmatized. We need it all. A mind, body, soul approach. So this is somebody who didn't grow up emotionally because they didn't have caregivers that grew up emotionally, right? If they was molesting them, physically abusing them, right? Verbally telling them you nothing, you ain't shit. How can you grow? How can you grow hearing that and going through that, right? In that part of your life. So going to that 40-year-old, you got that 40-year-old, they're actually of age when it comes to paying bills, going to work, making sure the life, getting clothes and stuff needed, presentation. They good with that, right? But that can be misleading because it's like you're good with these things when it comes to survival. But when it comes to emotional maturity and everything else, it's like they're still in that 12, 13, 14-year-old, sometimes 7-year-old, because nobody taught them that. And mental health was so frowned down upon. People thought that they would be crazy going to get therapy when really you crazy for not getting it. Because who wants to keep that shit in the family? For those families that are like, shh, keep it in the house. Shh, don't tell nobody. Shh, keep it in the family. Nobody got anywhere good by keeping that bullshit in the family and not healing it. Okay, so in one aspect, I do feel for these energies here because they shouldn't have had to go through that, or you shouldn't have had to go through that. But also at the same time, when you become an adult, you have to take accountability and responsibility for your actions and your healing. You can't just project your bullshit onto somebody else. They wasn't a part of your life. Because that's exactly what's happening here. Somebody wanted you to go through something because they went through it. And they didn't feel like your life was as hard as theirs, or this manager, or this friend, or this romantic partner, right? And it's like they're taking it out in their job, or they're taking it out on you in the connection, or this is what you're doing with them. Put the energies as you see fit here. What your new start is on the horizon. For some of you guys, you already stepped into it, okay? You looking good, single, for a lot of you guys, very independent and stable. And let me tell you something. God don't care about the physical possessions you have. He can give that to you or take it away anytime. He care about your spirit. He care about your heart posture. He care about what you do for him. Then everything else follows. We got it twisted here with this world. Okay? So, congratulations, guys. Keep the faith. Hold on tight. All right? Remember, if you don't remember anything else, healing is important. And everybody doesn't have it all together, okay? Because nobody's perfect. But there is a difference between flaws and abuse. And if you were abused, I'm so sorry to hear that. And you do not have to heal alone, Okay, I do offer spiritual life coaching sessions to help people with their life obstacles in addition to psychic development. If you would like to book coaching sessions, you can feel free to email and or book through the site. Okay, so thank you all for your love and support here. It is truly, truly appreciated. And always remember that you make your own decisions. Peace out, deuces.